Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am going to do a quick audio check and pull up the chat on my phone real quick. It looks like everything is working though, which is always good. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up real quick. And let's see if it's working. If you guys can let me know in the chat too that you can hear the audio as well, that would be so helpful. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's working. It just took me a minute. There's like a little bit of delay, but yeah, I got the chat pulled up. It looks like we're good to go. How are you guys doing on this Thursday? What are you guys up to? Do you have any fun plans for the weekend? Let me know. Anything and everything. Where are you tuning in from? I am coming at you guys from my bathroom floor. I just figured I would move in here today because the lighting is a little bit better than my other recent live streams that look like they were filmed on a potato in a dark cave. So hopefully it'll go a little bit better lighting wise today. But yeah, it looks like we're good to go. If you guys have any problem hearing the audio or anything like that while I'm going along here, just let me know in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment with any questions or thoughts or whatever, because I love hearing from you guys. And I will switch over and we will get started because I am so excited to talk to you guys about today's topic, which is all about basically shifting from the old way of freelancing to the new way of freelancing, right? We all know a lot of shit has changed in the last couple of years, especially in the last year with technology. So it's really important that we pivot our marketing strategy and update it to sort of get with the times, right? That way we can stay up with what's going on. It looks like a few more people just jumped on. Hi, hello. Feel free to lurk if you'd like, or you can let me know where you are tuning in from. And as always, let me know as I'm going along if you guys have any questions at all, because I'll be so more than happy to do a Q&A at the end of this video. So it is a great time to ask whatever questions you have. All right, let's switch over to the doc here, which I had already scrolled all the way down because I was looking it over this morning. But yeah, today we're going to talk about what is actually working to get clients in a 2025 market, right? Not a 2020 market, not even a 2023 market, but a 2025 market. Breezy says hi from Jamaica. Hello, welcome back. EB Fawn says hi from NYC. Oh my God, I am so jealous. The last time I went to NYC was 2019 and I loved it. I stayed with my brother in, I think, the Upper East Side. And so it was just a great time. Oh yeah, can't wait to go back one day. But anyway, yeah, today we're going to talk about what is working to get freelance writing clients in today's market, right here, right now, today. And by the way, you can learn how to make 5 to 8K a month writing part-time in my brand new free class. Literally, I just dropped this last month and then actually hard launched it this month in February. To those of you who are on my email newsletter, you already know. But check that out at the link. It's a really, really good in-depth training. I've gotten so much feedback on that has helped people get clients, so definitely check it out. Manny says hi from NM's at New Mexico, also very cool. I have visited there as well and love all the parks and how unique all the outdoorsy stuff is there. So hello and welcome. Okay, so if you guys know my story, some of y'all may already know, if you've been around here a while, that I unexpectedly lost my day job in 2015, right? And I was terrified. I had no steady income, no clients lined up. I didn't have a backup plan and no freaking idea how I was going to make rent and pay my bills. But within just 4 months, I was making $5,000 a month as a freelance writer, which was amazing to me at the time. I was like, oh my gosh, this amount of money is solving all my life problems. It seriously felt like that. Here's the thing though, and this is something that I'm not seeing talked about a lot online today. What worked back then to get clients is not working the same way today, right? I don't teach the same exact process that worked back then today because we've got to update our marketing for a 2025 market, which also means a lot of advice you see online is outdated, even stuff from just a year or two ago. That is why the writers who are in today's market making a great living, whether maybe to you that means $3K a month, Maybe to you it means 5, 8, 10, or even 12K a month. Whatever that means, if you want to get to that point, you got to join the writers who are making these key shifts to their marketing strategy to adapt to a 2025 market, meaning they're using their website to stand out and avoid competing with AI and cheap writers. So critical. We're going to talk about this in detail here in a minute. They don't rely on oversaturated platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. Are you guys finding Fiverr and Upwork more oversaturated than ever? Like, it seems like it's getting so crazy on those sites. And even other outdated strategies like Facebook groups or commenting on a LinkedIn post, like that used to work 3, 4, 5 years ago. But in today's market, it's like, okay, now you're competing with like 20 to 100 other commenters. And it's like, what's the point, you know? So these writers are not doing that. And they position themselves as professional and trustworthy using a profitable AI-proof niche, among other things, which, like I said, we're going to break down in this video. Carter says, originally from Cali but live in Arizona. Very cool. 2 awesome places with lots of fun stuff to do outdoors. Welcome, Carter, and thank you for being here. And thanks to everyone for being here, by the way, whether you're in the chat or you're lurking. Totally fine either way, and I'm just glad that you are here. So, I want to give you some good news about all this too, because it may feel like a lot of doom and gloom, like everything's changed, it's different, but the good news is you actually don't need expert level copywriting skills or to be like a pro level marketer to hit $5,000 a month or more freelance writing, okay? You just got to work smarter, not harder, right? In a way that is updated for today's market, not 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 1 year ago. You got to make these shifts. So let's talk about how you're going to do this in 4 simple steps. We're going to start at the beginning with awareness of what's going on, and we're going to end with what you're going to actually do to get these clients. But all these 4 steps work together as an ecosystem. I want to make that really clear before we get into it, because you can't just sort of pick and choose one step here and there that you're going to try out. It's important to not only do these steps, do them in order, but also do them the right way. Okay? I've been saying this a lot in today's market. It's no longer about just doing it. It's about doing it the right way. So let's talk about how we're going to make these shifts. Samudra, can you please tell me how to say your name? Because I never want to pronounce someone's name incorrectly. But you're saying, hi, I was waiting for this live. Well, hello to you too, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you could make it. I tried to send out a couple extra emails about it this time, so I hope that helped. All right. Step number 1. First, we got to know what not to do. Before we go into what to do right, we got to stop doing what's not working, because, and this can be so tough, right? If you're feeling like this is difficult, by the way, you're not alone. Change is hard. It's like, I'm pretty sure hardwired into us humans to resist change, but we have got to do it, okay? We can't keep throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, or trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And that's what it can feel like when you're still using these out-of-date marketing strategies. You're like, why is this no longer working? It used to work so well. Okay, so in 2025, it's more important than ever to treat freelance writing like an actual business, not a side gig, not a part-time job, a business, just as if you were starting a restaurant or starting a clothing store or whatever. You've got to treat it like a business in that same way. So what's not working in 2025? What should you not waste your time on anymore? Fiverr, Upwork, and Content Mills. You guys know I've been telling y'all for about 10 years to get off of those sites, okay? So we got to get off of those, especially now, because these are flooded with beginner level writers charging bottom of the barrel pricing. And those writers are also competing with AI, side note. So do you want to be in competition with cheaper writers in AI? Probably not, because then you're going to have to compete on price and bring your price way down, which we do not want. Chrissy, hi. Hi from Florida and welcome. Dustin says hello from East Tennessee. Originally from Massachusetts with over 20 years in sales. Oh my God. Dustin, 20 years in sales. You are more than in the perfect position to do this. If you know how to sell, you are already 90% of the way there. So that is great. I hope that you really dive into this, because you're in a great position to do this. Hello, Dawn from Pasadena. Welcome. Thank you guys for showing up in the chat, by the way. So another thing that's not working. Tell me if you guys are experiencing this or if you've tried any of these methods before. Job posts on LinkedIn and Facebook groups. Not only the job application type of jobs, themselves, but also people posting and being like, I need a writer to help me with blah, blah, blah. Because it's so competitive, right? When you see those comments or those posts, then there's like 20, 30, 50, or even more writers all, brawling for that one same gig. And you don't want to be in that pool. You got to stand out and do something different. And also, of course, we're not going to apply for gigs like a job seeker anymore. You've got to market yourself like a business owner. Again, it's really, really important in today's market that you treat freelance writing like a business, because it really is. Just like I said, just as if you were starting a restaurant or a clothing store, you got to treat it like a business. And the good news is, whether you're a beginner or you have some experience but you aren't hitting your income goals, whichever one you fall into, you can rise above the noise in a 2025 market simply by shifting how you position yourself, okay? What I'm teaching in today's market is different, and it's such a heavy focus on differentiation, right? How can we take ourselves out of this pool of competition with cheap writers in AI, remove ourselves from that pool completely, and go over here in the pool of high-paying writers where there is far less competition? Really, really, really important to think about it that way. So let's move on to step 2, right? You shift your mindset. You're like, okay, I'm not going to do those outdated strategies anymore. Not going to do that. Then you're going to pick a profitable and AI-proof niche. If there is one thing that separates high earners from strugglers, it is this, okay? And to add to that, in today's market, it is just as important to not only pick a profitable AI-proof niche, but also pick a specific type of target clientele that has a demand and a budget for what you do. So important. I'm going to say that again because it's like, if you take away one thing from this video, please let it be this. You want to go after a target clientele in your niche who has a high demand and the budget for what you do and what you want to charge. Demand and budget. Play those things back in your head a couple times anytime you are thinking about who to pitch or cold email within your writing niche. But as you can see here, which I've said very bluntly, generalist freelance writing is done. It's dead. It's over. Good game. See you later. It's not working anymore. In today's market, you have to differentiate. Okay, you have to differentiate with your niche is one way that you do it. Today's market demands niche specialization because that is a key piece of what's going to set you apart. If you're a freelance writer for anyone, or if you just have a niche that's not profitable, not AI proof, etc., you're going to blend in with thousands of low-priced generalist writers, and you're going to be competing with AI. So I'm so curious if you guys are willing to share, what niches are you thinking about working in, or what niche are you working in? Do you have any questions about how to niche in today's market? Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help. If not now during this, definitely drop your question and we'll do a Q&A at the end. But the thing is about your niche, a profitable AI-proof niche makes you stand out instantly and differentiates you, okay? Which is so crucial in today's market, having that differentiation. That is like the word of 2025 if you're freelance writing, okay? Differentiation. So important. Should have underlined it and put 1,000,000 star emojis next to it because that is seriously the word of the year. So here's just like a general example for you guys. A bad niche would be, I'm a generalist SEO content writer. Even saying something like, I am a health SEO content writer. Not advisable in today's market because SEO content writing is one of those niches that is being replaced by AI. Clients typically have a low budget because you're competing with AI and they're like, this isn't even really that valuable, right? And the niche isn't really going to have longevity from what I'm seeing. Even with things like blog posts, what's working more in today's market is bringing in original data, original sources, subject matter expert interviews. It's not SEO content like it used to be. That used to work. It used to be a way a lot of freelance writers would break into freelance writing, getting started with something more easy and simple, so to speak. Not the case anymore. Avoid at all costs. A great niche, on the other hand, would be saying something like, I write landing pages for B2B and SaaS companies. Coincidentally, that is my personal niche, so that is how I know it's a great niche. The reason being, it's not being replaced by AI. Clients have high demand for this and value it, right? The value is there. The demand is there because they need this so that they can make money for their business, right? And the niche has great long-term potential. Oh, I see some comments coming in. Spiritual mental health and wellness. Love that. Mental health, also very cool. I have a student who got a $1,400 contract with her first ever cold email in the mental health niche. She took my killer cold emailing course and did that. So amazing. Outside stuff like camping and backpacking, sales and leadership, all great options. I could see like writing for some of those camping and backpacking companies or going the direction of like marketing, sales, leadership. I think either one of those would be really great options. I've been into ancient Indian history for the last few years. Very cool. YouTube script writing on this topic. Okay, that's super interesting. And ancient history in general. That would be so interesting. When you start pitching that, I don't know if you already have, let me know how it's going, because I want to hear from you guys like what niches you're finding, especially a really cool and unique one like that, how you're finding that's working. I use astrology, numerology, and herbs and crystals to help people in health and wellness. That is so cool. I can see a lot of potential in that niche. A lot of people love that kind of thing, myself included, so that's very cool. Chrissy says personal development, another really, really good one. So here's that example of a bad niche versus a great niche, but of course, you guys can use this type of thing to like define your own niche as well. Again, the most important thing, because I see a lot of y'all having really great topic ideas. Like, these are amazing. I just want you to think a step further too and ask yourself, who should I pitch inside of this niche that is going to have a high demand for the type of content or copy I'm offering and a high budget? Meaning they probably have a marketing department, they have a marketing budget, they might be a funded startup, or they might just be a big business that just has a huge marketing budget just waiting to spend it on you. That sort of thing you really, really want to think about in today's market. And I do cover that a little more in depth in my free class, which I'll link down in the description box below as well. But I also just want to like give you guys a little bit of reassurance that even as a beginner with no experience, a lot of my students come in that situation, or the second sort of group of students that come into my courses have some experience, but they aren't making the income they want. So whether either situation you're in, you can either make the shift or pick a profitable niche from the start and start getting clients. My students are living proof of this, okay? And take a look at Roman's testimonial here on the left. He said, I got my first client. I was super nervous. They need a customer success story or case study for their sales team to showcase their premium service. So, Dustin, I'm thinking about you when I'm reading that. Something about sales, like if you know about sales, maybe, and you don't have to. I want you to feel empowered to make whatever decision feels right for your business. But if I were you, I might be thinking, how can I write case studies? Because that's essentially like a sales tool, right? A case study. And those are very lucrative. And another reason I wanted to draw attention to Roman's testimonial is because a lot of writers, when they start out, feel like they have to start writing blog posts to break in, because it tends to be like the least intimidating thing to start with for many writers, myself included. I totally did this too. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I want you to know you don't have to, okay? You can start day one writing case studies, white papers, whatever else you want to do. Dustin says, I love it. Yes, I would research that if I were you. I think if you know about sales and you can get a grasp, or maybe you already know about case study structure, I mean, very lucrative, just saying. I think it would be a really good idea. Okay, I won't bother reading those other two testimonials. Y'all can check those out and pause on the replay if you would like. But yeah, you can either start now or you can pivot your niche strategically to something more profitable and in demand. I have pivoted my niche so many times. I've made little pivots, target clientele pivots. I've made overhauls, changing the entire type of copy that I write. I changed my own niche from blog post writing to landing page copywriting because I just like that better, and I felt like it was a better decision for today's market for me personally. So if you want me to basically pick your niche for you, I've got to tell you guys about this real quick because I've had so much feedback on it, and I just want you to know I built a custom niche finder AI bot inside my killer cold emailing program that helps you choose an AI-proof profitable niche in seconds, and it can even tell you the most profitable types of clients to target, which is just as important as your niche. Like I've said, you've got to have budget and demand. You can learn more about this inside my free class, but it kind of works like this. You access the bot, it validates, is your niche profitable, yes or no, tells you how much to charge to work 25 hours a week or less or more, whatever you want to do, And then it can help you figure out the most profitable target clients for you to cold email. It is so cool. It's a totally proprietary thing that you can use with ChatGPT. So it's just so exciting. I've gotten so much feedback of people being like, oh my God, I was so stressed about my niche and like this helped everything. HB says, do you still do client work? I am still open to client work. I don't do client work every single week, like especially during launches or if I'm having like a health flare-up. A lot of you guys probably know from my videos that I deal with chronic health issues as well. So it's not like I'm doing a full workload of client work all the time, but I am still open for client work, yeah, and I do still take it on occasion. So I'm curious, what questions do you guys have about niching before we move on to the next step? Pop them in the chat, don't be shy. Or you can post in the comments if you are watching the replay. I do my best to answer most, if not all, comments. So I would love to help you out, especially considering how important not only your niche is, but your target clientele having the demand and the budget for what you do, okay? If differentiation is the word of 2025, demand and budget are like the next two words, right? It's so important to make sure your target clientele has a demand and budget for the specific type of copy you are offering. Otherwise, if they don't have the demand, then we're kind of selling meat to vegans, right? Not a good look, not something that's going to be a fruitful endeavor. So we don't want to do that. So very important to consider demand and budget. All right, let me scroll here on to step 3, which is we're going to ditch the portfolio in 2025, okay? We are going to switch to a client converter website instead. This is my proprietary strategy, by the way. No one else is teaching this. I brought this into my Killer Cold Emailing program last year, about 7 or 8 months ago. I pre-built the website so my students can just access the zip file and drop it in, and it's pre-built. More on that later. But basically what you got to know is we're shifting in 2025 from the old way to the new way. The old way might be a generic portfolio page with random samples, a website that isn't optimized for an AI-proof or profitable niche, and a site that is more show and tell than sell. Really important to think about that last one. Are you just showing and telling, or are you selling? Because back in the day, you could kind of just put up a website, and if it like looked good, it had your niche on it, like you could probably get some client work with that, right? But today, you really want to think about your website as a sales tool. Your website is a sales tool. I cannot stress that enough. It's so important to realize and implement this way. Your website is less like a resume or portfolio and more like a landing page or a sales page, right? And that doesn't mean we're going to be overly salesy. It's not like a high pressure sales page or anything like that. But we do want to approach it in a way where we're focused on selling. It's a key shift to make in today's market. So the new way is a client converter website. And when I say client converter website, I'm talking about a website that has been specifically built and strategically optimized to convert the target clients you're cold emailing, right? Because we already talked about those clients are going to have a demand and a budget for what you do. You're going to pitch and cold email them, and this site is actually going to close the sale. This website will be linked in your cold email, and it's going to help you close the sale. Or I have some students tell me this website closed the sale for them and they didn't even need a phone call, which is like introvert heaven, right? Not needing a phone call to close the deal. But basically, this website positions you as the go-to writer in your niche. Yes, even as a beginner, it exists to sell, not show and tell, sell your services and differentiate you from AI and cheap writers. There's that word again, right? Differentiation. Critical in today's market. You are going to be differentiated with this website. Because here's the thing. In your mind, you might be differentiated, right? Or you might know like, oh yeah, my writing is way better than AI, or it's already set apart from AI. But what about the client's mind? Because in marketing, perception is everything, right? It doesn't matter what you know about yourself or what you're thinking about your writing or AI or whatever. What matters is the client's perception of you and how you differentiate yourself. And the client's perception of you is largely dictated by your writer website. Largely dictated by your writer website. That is why it is crucial in today's market to have it done right. Every section of every page is strategically optimized specifically to convert the clients you're cold emailing. So you can see how this works. We're approaching it less like a, here's me, here's what I do, and more like a, this site is going to sell to this specific target clientele that has a demand and budget for what I do. End of story. That's the purpose of it, okay? Really, really important. And here's something a lot of writers don't realize when they start out. By the way, myself included, I did not really realize this was how it was going to work. Every client you pitch in cold email, they're going to check your writer website and use that to figure out whether or not you're worth hiring. So it's not just about the cold email, right? I have people come to me and they're like, I already tried cold emailing. It's not working. And I'm like, let me look at your niche. Let me look at your website. And they don't have a niche and or they're not linking a website out from their cold email. Those two mistakes will kill your cold email conversions. Seriously. I'll show you an example, like actual student result on this in a minute, because I want you guys to know when I'm saying things like this and making these claims, like this is based on like actual data and my experience and the experience of my students. I don't want y'all to think I'm just like saying whatever. Like I'll show you an actual example in a minute, as always. But yeah, every client you cold email will check your writer website and use that to figure out whether or not you're worth hiring. Dustin's saying people buy from people. Absolutely, Dustin. Absolutely. I actually, inside of my Killer Cold Emailing program, recommend you have a section that humanizes you on your About page that has little cute stuff about you and your life or whatever. You know, for me, I talk about having chihuahuas and liking to go hiking, you know, little things like that. Now, we don't want to have that in the hero section of our homepage, but we've got to have it somewhere because we want to have a humanized brand with our freelance writing, right? So every client's going to look at that website and use that to determine whether or not you're worth working with. That doesn't mean you need years of experience. It doesn't mean you need testimonials that are fancy on day one. You don't have to have a fancy Forbes byline or anything too crazy like that. It just means you have to have trust signals throughout your website. I have my whole trust signal strategy like outlined in like fancy little graphics inside of my free class. So y'all can check that out if you want at the link here and down in the description. But basically a trust signal is like a literal psychological trigger based in marketing psychology that signals to your client, this person is trustworthy and worth working with. Because a lot of writers come to me and they're like, I don't have any experience, or I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have fancy bylines, all this stuff. How do I prove I'm worth working with? You put trust signals throughout your website. Trust signals, little subtle things that show the client you are trustworthy. Super, super important. Okay, Albert, hi Albert, is saying, I'm considering coming back to freelancing. Very cool. Great time to do it. If y'all want to know more about the timing of this, go watch my Freelancing Gold Rush video. Just go to my channel and search for Freelance Writing Gold Rush and you'll find it. Great statistics there. As always, statistics and data proving my prediction because I wouldn't just throw around anything like that. I've never had a website during my career. Okay. How can a client converter website be distinct compared to AI itself? I assume that would be hard these days. So Albert, this is a great question. And it's like something that I could spend an hour answering, honestly. My free class will tell you more about this than I can ever explain here without taking up y'all's entire afternoon. But basically, it has to do with your positioning, right? Differentiation. Your website is like a trust tool, essentially. And it positions you as either in competition with AI or not in competition with AI. If your website does not have a custom domain, if your website does not have a clear niche on it, it doesn't have these things that really position you as trustworthy and high value to clients, then they're going to see you as low value, even if that's not the case, okay? Because again, in marketing, perception is reality. So what we've got to use our website to do, it's not that we're directly saying things like, I'm not competing with AI. We don't want to do anything like that. Okay, we definitely don't want to do that. But what we're doing is using our positioning and our marketing strategy on our website to imply, basically, or show we are high value. We are not in competition with AI. It is looking professional. You have a niche that is not SEO content, which is what AI is taking over right now, things like that. So very, very important. Oh my gosh, there is a spider crawling right behind my laptop right now. Okay, it's okay. It's like literally this big, but I'm just afraid of spiders. Asa, am I saying that right? Please, if I ever say anyone's name wrong, please correct me. Because I really want to make sure that I say y'all's names right. I'm going to do some DoorDash tonight so I can join the class. That sounds so awesome. I cannot wait to see you inside of the program. I just know that the strategies inside and especially the pre-built resources are so helpful for the students that are joining. Like, it has really changed the entire program because it's not just how to do this videos. It's not watch a bunch of overwhelming videos. It's like, no, here's the AI bot to choose your niche. Here's your pre-built website. Here's your cold emailing templates. Like, just saved you weeks or months. Go for it. So I am cheering you on and I cannot wait to see you inside the program. Perception is reality. Absolutely. That is like the mic drop moment, right? So important to remember when you are making your marketing strategy. So the bottom line is a professional website is no longer optional for freelance writers. In today's market, you've got to have it, okay? It is essential, not just to have one, but to have it done right. Long A, Asa, is that right? Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not butchering it. Writer Albert says, thanks, appreciate that. I think you're awesome. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. And when you join and when you start getting clients, please reach out to me and my team because we love nothing more than celebrating with our students. We will send you a congrats email. We love that. We just love to see it. I'm so passionate about this because I've had so many times in my life where I felt so down and out, like I didn't have anyone and I felt a little hopeless. And freelancing for me turned my whole life around. It expanded my realm of possibility of the amount of income I thought I could make, the amount of control I felt I could have over my financial situation. And I love giving people that same empowerment. That brings me so much joy and happiness. So thank y'all so much for being here. And for those of you who are already in my program or whether you're just someone who watches my videos, thank you so much. It really, really, really means a whole lot to me. Let's see. A professional website. Okay. I'm getting a little lost. It's no longer optional. We already talked about that. Oh yeah, I did want to let you guys know too. I already kind of talked about this, so I won't harp on it, but inside Killer Cold Emailing, you do get a drop-in website template, a fill-in-the-blanks copy template for every single section of every single page on your website. Your website can go live in as little as an hour, okay? Dropping in the website template, I've got 10 minutes here. That's a little generous. I think it would take more like 3 to 5. Filling in the blanks in the copy template, if you already know your niche, it might take 30 minutes. It might take 90 minutes if you want to do a little bit more finessing, but the great thing about it is it's saving you weeks, if not months, of guesswork and tech struggles. And again, it's not about just having a website, right? It's about having it done right. So how cool to have this pre-built for you where you can know that it's already pre-optimized and done right. So you can learn more about all that kind of stuff below. But if you have any questions about what your website needs in a 2025 market, please ask away in the chat. Ask in the comments if you're watching the replay. Like I said, I'm super, super passionate about helping you guys out with this and want to make sure that we're understanding what is required in a 2025 market because it is just so important to make these big pivots. So after you've got your mindset shifted away from the old way to the new way, you got a profitable AI-proof niche and you're thinking of those target clienteles that have the demand and budget for what you do, and you've got a client converter website optimized to sell, what you're going to do next is start cold emailing in a way that is updated for a 2025 market, okay? Today, this means sending a pitch email to a target client in your niche, specifically a target client that has a high demand for what you do and the budget to pay you well for it. Budget and demand. Those are the two words, other than differentiation, that I really want to leave you guys with today. So, side note here, which is actually a major note, very important, your cold email, every single cold email you send should have a, what is that thing called? Email signature. Yeah, I don't know why my brain just went blank. An email signature that has your client converter website linked out from it. And so you can see how this works, right? They're going to get your cold email. They're going to click over to the site. The site is going to work to actually convert them because cold emailing alone is not enough. Like, that's never really been enough, but especially in today's market, just sending cold emails is not enough, right? You have got to send it this strategic way that is updated for a 2025 market. No more waiting for clients to find you, wishing for the best, hoping it works out. No more job applying mindset. You are not looking for jobs. You are a business owner landing clients. So it goes back to that pivot that I was talking about earlier, right? Where you have to see your freelance writing as a business just as much as a restaurant owner would see their business as a business, or a clothing boutique owner would see their business as a business, okay? So incredibly important to make that mindset shift, especially when you're cold emailing. Now, I want to address this because a lot of writers come to me like, yeah, I know, but I've already tried cold emailing. It didn't work for me. Like, I got really disappointing results. But the reality is just cold emailing isn't enough, right? It's not going to work if you find some template online and you don't have a website, or you're not sure if your website is niche optimized to sell. It's not going to work. You've got to cold email it the right way. So for those of you who may be in this situation, whether you're here now or watching the replay, let's do a quick audit. Let's do a little quick mini audit of your business, okay? These 4 bullet point X's that I have here. Do you feel like you have any of these problems going on with your business right now? Because these things directly impact the conversion rates of your cold emails. You don't have a profitable and AI-proof niche. You're targeting the wrong clients within your niche, meaning they don't have a demand and or budget for what you do. You're sending generic or unconfident sounding cold emails that don't stand out, maybe with some random template that you found online. Or your writer website isn't built to convert the clients you're cold emailing, and maybe it's not professional. You don't have a photo of yourself in the hero section of the homepage. Pro tip, please put a photo of yourself in the hero section of your home page. It is part of your website passing the 3-second test, which is basically you have 3 seconds to show a client, prove to them that you are trustworthy and professional when your website loads. A big part of that is having that photo of you right in the hero image. It doesn't have to be a professional headshot, whatever, but you gotta have the photo of you on your website. So maybe you have one of these 4 problems. If cold emailing hasn't worked for you, I can almost guarantee one of these 4 problems, if not multiple of them, is coming into play and causing that. So don't feel like it's your fault. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a bad writer. It's none of that. It's not your fault. It is the market demanding these changes, demanding that we update our marketing strategy. Because on the flip side, when you fix these things, your cold emailing is going to work amazingly well. I have students who have gotten clients even brand new to their niche, brand new to freelance writing. I think I have a survey that I have my students take after they join my program, and it's obviously self-reported, so I can't completely verify this, but about 70% of my students report coming in with 0 experience. So this works whether you have no experience or some experience, even if you're totally brand new. So I wanted to share this little story with you guys. Crystal, who came to me having already tried cold emailing, okay? When she was just trying cold emailing, and she had experience already, by the way, she was getting 0 to 1 cold email responses per week, usually saying they were not interested, which is so disappointing. I don't want that for any of you guys, right? But when she switched to my killer cold emailing strategy, she got these results on the right over here. She started getting 6 to 8 client responses a week, with 4 a week at least wanting to hire her. So again, in 2025, it is not just about doing it, it is about doing it right. You've got to ask yourself, are you doing it the right way? I'm moving my laptop because this spider is really freaking me out. I'm so sorry. By the way, y'all just saw my Swiffer and my broom over here in the corner. Just pretend that didn't happen. But anyway, doing it right is what is going to get you the results like these. Now, obviously, I'm not going to read all these things to you guys. Y'all can definitely watch the replay and pause this if you want, but just a few of them. Sarah says she makes between 9 and 12 grand a month. Sierra, who is in the mental health niche, sent her first cold email and heard back with a contract for over $1,400. Kendria says 4 to 5 grand a month. Stephanie says 15,000 in the last 4 months. I mean, really great results. So I go way more in depth on this process, including my exact trust signals marketing strategy inside my free class. And again, this is for beginner writers as well as those who have some experience but aren't making the income they want. Here's a little photo, a little preview of what's in the free training. But yeah, you guys can learn all about it in the link below. You'll learn how to never compete with AI or cheaper writers. I'll go more into the differentiation process. You'll learn more about the asset you need to get 10 times more clients in 2025. And really most importantly, I think, because this is what I've gotten the most feedback on as being like a light bulb moment for people, the trust signal strategy, making writers $5,000 to $8,000 a month, proven to work in today's market. So you can click over now to get access. And again, when you take this free class or if you decide to upgrade and join my paid program, either way, please do reach out and share your success story with me because me and my team love celebrating that with you. So drop a comment below. What questions do you have about getting freelance writing clients in today's market? Or pop in the chat and let me know what's up. Yeah, I got a little time to hang out. So if you guys want to do a little live Q&A, this is the time. Pop those questions down in the chat. Albert says, yes, new writers need to keep in mind that once you freelance, you're no longer looking for jobs, but getting gigs. Exactly. You're getting gigs, you're getting clients. So important. You need to see your prospective clients as equals, not bosses or superiors. Could not have said it better myself, Albert. That is exactly what you've got to do. And it's so interesting because that's like such an underrated part or like an underutilized part of coming into freelance writing with like a strategy. Because I think a lot of people, myself included, when I started out, I was like, I don't need that mindset stuff. It's really not that important. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But the thing is, your mindset will trickle down throughout your actual marketing strategy, right? It's going to affect every aspect of it. If you see your prospective clients as a boss or a superior, you're going to come across as unconfident in your cold emails, right? You're not going to approach your writer website in a confident way. You're going to be afraid to set the rates that you want to set. It's just crazy how all the mindset stuff literally trickles down into all your marketing. So good thing to bring up there. Dustin says you need to bring solutions to a client's issues. Anyone can write shit, but those that provide solutions are valued. Absolutely. It goes back to things being in demand, right? It's so important to go after a target clientele where they have an actual demand for what you do, and you're providing a solution in a way that makes their business more money, right? Help them make more revenue, help a business make more money, and you're going to be set, right? We don't want to be targeting broke clients because if we do, we're going to be broke writers. So we've got to target the right people. And also, like you're saying, bring those solutions to a client's issues. Yeah, totally agree. Anyone can write words on a page, right? By the way, let me switch over to my face here. See if I can get this spider to stop like tormenting me. It's so funny. I'm actually reading a fiction novel right now called Cackle, and it's like a horror novel kind of. And there's like a lot of spiders crawling around everywhere in that novel, so it made me think of that. Okay. Let me see what else we've got going on in the chat here. If you guys want to pop in any last minute questions, I'm more than happy to help you out. Okay, spider spiritually means you are casting and webbing your dreams. I will take that. I love to hear that. There's been quite a few of them in my house lately. I don't know if it's like the weather changing or whatever, but I am in my bathroom, so I don't know. Do spiders like crawl in through your pipe system, like your, the drains of the sinks and the bathtub and stuff like that? There's so many of them. It freaks me out a little bit. Fortunately, he was literally like this big, so it's actually not that big of a deal. I'm just a huge baby when it comes to like bugs and spiders and stuff. Albert says, I'm curious, what do you recommend in terms of marketing and promoting your niche choices and converter website? Great question, Albert. I am retired, but still write on Substack, so I do media, podcast, and radio when I can. All those are great options. It really just depends on how you want to get in front of your target clients, right? So really what I recommend, bottom line, like essential for anyone coming into my program, is to just do the cold emailing, right? You do the cold emailing strategically, and you can get yourself in front of your target clients pretty easily, right? Pretty predictably. And I like cold emailing over something like posting to Twitter or posting your website to LinkedIn because we don't really have quite quite as measurable of a way to track our results and go, okay, I'm predictably going to get 1 or 2 clients if I send 20 cold emails, right? That's about a conversion rate I would expect, maybe 1 to 2 to 3 clients, something like that. It can vary based on a lot of factors, but you know what I mean? It's trackable. Whereas if you're just posting on Instagram or LinkedIn, it's a lot harder to feel like, okay, if I just do X, I'm going to get Y result. So for anyone coming into my program, the primary thing I recommend, start cold emailing, get your set of clients that you need to get to the first income level you want that way, and then start asking for referrals. And some of those things will happen naturally. So your clients will be happy. They'll send referrals your way. You can ask them for referrals. Cold emailing and referrals can get you so far that you actually don't need to use social media, Substack, any of that other stuff. However, if you want to, it is great. You totally can do that. I would just say make sure, if you're on Substack and you want to use it as a vehicle for your freelance writing, maybe you are writing specifically a newsletter targeting your audience. So if you were, I'll use my niche as an example. If I were doing Substack and I wanted to promote the fact that I write B2B and SaaS landing pages, I would probably have a newsletter that was specifically meant to bring in B2B and SaaS marketers, aka the people who would be hiring me. So I would think about it like that. But again, you don't have to do that stuff. Cold emailing alone is so effective. And then getting those referrals. What I've seen with myself as well as my students is that things tend to snowball, right? Once you get started and you're getting those clients and you're cold emailing, things tend to snowball. You're going to get testimonials. You're going to get better samples, both of which will result in better clients and an easier way to get clients, essentially, because you've got better trust signals on your website when you add in testimonials and higher quality samples, okay? So things tend to snowball very quickly from there. Dustin says, from someone who has never done freelance writing but has experience in sales, B2B and retail. Oh my gosh, you're in such a great position. I'm not even kidding. You really are, Dustin. How do you get yourself in the running for targets? So you basically will follow the exact thing I've outlined here. If I were you, you can join my free class or my paid course below. Obviously, no pressure. You do whatever feels right for you, right? But I will say, overall, it will be following the process that I've talked about today, which will be starting with honing in on one niche, Dustin. So think about and maybe research. Maybe you can do some research today or this week on how you can best utilize your skill set to go into a profitable niche. So for you, I'm thinking B2B sales. Oh my gosh, you know about B2B sales? Literally write B2B sales copy in one specific industry. B2B technology website copywriter or B2B SaaS company case studies. Just off the top of my head, again, I always want you guys to be making your own best empowered decision based on how you want to run your business. That's so important, but that's kind of what I would be thinking. And then you set up that writer website optimized for that niche, targeting profitable clients that have the demand and budget, right? Then you get rolling with cold emailing. And yeah, I just think you're in such a great position. Having B2B sales experience, you basically are have been verbally a copywriter, right? Because copywriting is sales, right? We're not writers. I mean, we are, but really a copywriter is just a salesperson who writes. A copywriter is just a salesperson who writes. You're using writing to sell, essentially. So yeah, you're in a really great position. No real world writing experience. That is a tongue twister. That is okay. That's totally fine. You can actually make your own sample. You can self-publish a sample. If you wanted to go into case studies, for example, Dustin, I would say go write one. Find maybe 5 really strong examples of case studies in the niche you want to go into, like B2B tech. Look some of those up. You could write your own case study as a doc. If you want to go a little extra, you could maybe go into Canva and get a free case study design, template is what I'm trying to say. And then pop the text in there, and then you have a really nice sample for your portfolio, and you can just label it as personal project. And those can work really well, especially to start getting you your first clients. And again, it's one of those things that tends to snowball, right? So a lot of writers who come into freelance writing will express to me I'm nervous, I don't feel confident, I don't know, can I do this? But what I recommend if you're feeling like that, and again, you make your own best decision, right? But what I recommend, because what I see happen often, is writers will come in and they'll start by getting that first sample or two, maybe self-published or self-created, and they'll go after just a small client, low pressure. So you're not pitching Apple and Nike and all these types of places, right? Go pitch 20-person business down the street from you and see if you can write a case study for them for, not $1,000 like a normal case study or however much you would want to charge, but, a lower rate, just to kind of get you in and get you that writing sample, because the ROI on doing a project like that is great. You build your confidence, you work with a client, you get a writing sample, and ideally you get a testimonial from it. 4 really great things that show, wow, that's a great use of your time, right? So that is kind of what I recommend. And then once you start getting those first initial clients that feel easier or feel like less intimidating, I guess would be the word. Because I did this when I started out too, right? I was pitching IT service providers, little small businesses, 10 to 20 person businesses in Dallas, where I lived at the time, back when I lived in Texas, back in the day. And then I moved up from there, pitching bigger and maybe more intimidating companies as I grew my confidence. So don't feel like you got to go for big companies and all this crazy stuff day one. You can go at whatever pace feels good for you. And that is what I fully support and recommend. If you put peppermint oil or citrus oil on a cloth in the corner, it will repel them, FYI. Oh my gosh, I think I've heard about the peppermint oil thing, but I didn't know about the citrus oil. So I will do that. Or in a spray bottle. Okay. I need to get some, I have lavender oil. I don't have peppermint oil. I need to set my essential oils game up and do that, because I don't kill spiders. I just text my husband immediately after screaming and tell him to come take it outside, because I just can't bear to kill them and would never want to do that. But yeah, maybe the peppermint oil would help as long as it's not harming them. What about samples of writing when you're a beginner? Yeah, another great question. So Chrissy, kind of like what I was telling Dustin, if you're doing something like a case study, for example, you could sort of, make up your own, label it as a personal project on your portfolio. And if you want to take it a step further, look for those templates, right? Look for a Canva template for a case study or a white paper or whatever, and just make a little personal project. Like I said, in your actual client converter website, on the portfolio page of that, you can just label it as a personal project and it's not a big deal. Do a mock project. No big deal. Clients are not going to judge you based on, oh my gosh, is this published or not? Now, yeah, that's important later on, but if you're a beginner, your only goal really is to get those first set of clients that will then give you published writing samples. You know what I mean? And if you go after, especially those smaller companies who just need help with your self-published or self-created mock sample or personal project sample, you're going to be more than good to go. So don't worry about it. Like I said, it can be really helpful to do research and just maybe pull up 5 examples. So if you were doing case studies, Chrissy, for example, pull up, let's say actually you're doing B2B technology case studies. Pull up 5 examples of B2B and technology case studies. Obviously, we're never, ever, ever going to copy those directly, but you can at least sort of use pattern recognition to see what is the structure of these. How are these laid out? Oh, they're putting statistics here. Oh, they're putting a quote here. Oh, actually, they're not doing any of that. See if you can find the common denominators. That way you can make your own really great sample that is doesn't have to be at that level of the top case study, but that way you feel a little bit more confident in doing it. And then of course with something like a blog post, you could just self-publish, things like that, or create even a mock-up or a wireframe in Figma or Canva if you wanted to, but you absolutely don't have to do that. I don't want you guys to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to know how to design stuff to do this, because you absolutely do not. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. Okay, I don't usually talk this much during the day. It's crazy. It's only been an hour. The voice is already saying it's time to go. Dustin says, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you further. Yeah, you too, Dustin. Whether you just watch my YouTube videos, join my free program, my paid course, either way, definitely keep me updated on your progress. I'm really excited to hear about it, because I think especially with the B2B stuff and the sales experience, you're already mentally a copywriter. Because like I said, if you're a copywriter, you're just a salesperson who happens to write. So you're ready to do this. Don't let that fear or that, oh my gosh, I've never done this before, don't let that hold you back, because if you got sales skills and B2B skills, like, you're good to go. You are going to be good to go. Chrissy says, awesome. I was wondering about that. Yeah, I'm so glad I could help. And let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll probably hop off here in the next couple of minutes just because I think I desperately need a drink of water, maybe a cough drop. You're so awesome. Thank you so much. I will sign up today. That is so cool. I'll be looking for your name to be popping up in my inbox for my little new student notification that I get. Let me scroll up and make sure I didn't miss anything. If you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to pop them in below. All right. I think I answered everything. Thank you guys so much for being here. I've been loving doing these live streams. I'm pretty much doing these every last Thursday of the month. So you guys might already know I post on Thursday morning, usually, I think. I should probably know this. I pre-schedule them and I post on Thursday mornings, but I think every last Thursday of the month, you know, extenuating circumstances aside or whatever, I'll be here doing a live stream. 2 p.m. is a pretty good time for me too, 2 p.m. Pacific, because I can, you know, make sure I'm like wide awake by that point and not like some crazy 8 a.m. stuff. Dustin says, feel better soon. Thank you so much. I will. I think I'm fine. I'm just, like I said, I'm not used to speaking this much during the day. I just like hang out with my dog all day long in my office or my room. So thank you, love and light. Thank you both so very much. And thank you everyone for being here. Make sure if you want to sign up for my free class, I'll put it down in the description box as well as in the pinned comment. I think after I hop off of this, I think I can leave a comment. But yeah, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. Come back next month on the last Thursday of the month, 2 p.m., same time and place. I'll be here. And if you guys have any thoughts about what you would like me to cover in a future live stream, please comment those, because I am like desperately needing your ideas. I want to know like what you guys are struggling with in a 2025 market, especially that way I can help you out, make some live streams that include a lot of helpful content for y'all. Chrissy says, thanks, I really appreciate this. I appreciate y'all too. Feel better soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are so sweet. I love doing these lives because it's just such a friendly community. And like, I never, ever, ever take that for granted. I know the internet can be a crazy place. The world can be a crazy place. So thank you all for making this just like the coziest, kindest little corner of the internet. But I will leave you with that. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you think of any other questions, comment them after the video is done uploading, I guess, or whatever. And yeah, that's all. So thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see y'all next time.